Hello, foodie friends. Now, when you think of the Amish, where do you usually think about them in the United States? If you're anything like me, you picture either Pennsylvania or Ohio with large white farmhouses and huge vistas of fields of all kinds of wheat and corn and dairy cattle and all kinds of things like that. But I found out that there's actually another group of Amish that have chosen a completely different state, and that is Florida. And I had no idea that there was a large Amish community in Florida with a different kind of food history. I thought that was really fascinating. So when I found out that there was a lady who collected their recipes and put them into a cookbook, I had to have it and try it out. Now, I didn't go traditional Florida cuisine for this first try out of this cookbook because I kind of wanted to give you something that you might be able to use for the upcoming holiday season. I know a lot of families love to get together and have breakfast before they open presents, or sometimes even breakfast for Thanksgiving, and then go on to have a big dinner in the evening. And so that's what we're going to look into, something that one of the Amish women who submitted this recipe said is perfect for a holiday breakfast. And don't worry, because we will be revisiting this cookbook again as ingredients become a little bit more fresh in my neck of the woods, namely seafood, fruits, and vegetables. We're kind of in our lean months, as it were, for fresh food. And so I thought we might go ahead and wait and save that for when our growing season starts up again. And so we actually get the full flavor of what the meals are supposed to be. So let's go ahead and get started on our gingerbread waffles and see how good they are.
Pause here to write down what you'll need to follow along. And now let's go ahead and get started with this recipe from Pinecraft Amish and Mennonite community. And if you're interested, the Pinecraft community is within the city of Sarasota, Florida, and from everything I could find online, looks like a wonderful place to visit with some really good food. In a bowl, you're going to go ahead and combine your flour, baking powder, ginger, cinnamon, allspice, baking soda, and your salt. And set that aside because next you're going to go ahead and beat your brown sugar and egg yolk until fluffy. The Florida Amish is very atypical of an Amish community. There's about 3,000 residents, but most of the homes are on a rental basis. And so Amish from all over the United States will come to this community to have vacation, which makes for an unusual mix of varied beliefs and styles of dress. Next, you'll add your milk, molasses, and butter. Hopefully you won't have too much of a splatter mess like I did, but once it's all combined, go ahead and add all your dry ingredients. Even though there's a large mix of various Amish orders and also Mennonite, not all Amish are allowed to go to Florida. Pinecraft is considered by some Old Order Amish as too worldly, as the homes in Pinecraft are actually wired up for electricity, and it's the only Amish community that does not use the horse and buggy, instead using a mix of bicycles and even golf carts. The community is also home to another unusual aspect. Pinecraft is home to the only Amish-operated post office in the United States. When the USPS decided to close that little outpost, the Amish opted to buy it and keep it operating. As most Amish don't use telephones or cell phones, letters are an important part of keeping the community together. The recipe says to be careful not to overbeat, so go ahead and beat it until just combined. You can also add raisins at this point if you would like. We didn't because we're just not raisin fans. Now in another bowl, you're going to take your egg whites and your cream of tartar, and you're going to beat them until soft peaks form. Very gently fold it into the batter. It may take a little time to incorporate everything fully, but just be very gentle. And now what to do once you get there? Well, just because you're Amish doesn't mean you can't have fun. Games, concerts, and auctions are held on a regular basis, and then of course there are the beautiful beaches, where the Amish might be seen doing exactly what we would do. Swimming, looking for shells, and even parasailing. Now spray your hot waffle iron with non-stick spray and add your batter. I added a little too much, which made it overflow, but that's okay, it still came out delicious. And now that you know just how good waffles can be made Amish style, think of all the good eating you could do in Pinecraft community. From all the wonderful Amish cooking restaurants that you would have available to you. And now what you've all been waiting for, butter and syrup. Let's roll that footage.
All right, I say let's eat before it gets soggy.
Smells good.
Oh, if you could smell this, oh my gosh. It smells like Christmas in a waffle,
Yeah.
I think.
I think I got a really big piece.
Yeah, you did. Okay, it tastes like Christmas in a waffle. What do you think?
It's very good. Like, I don't even know how to put it. It's like the perfect gingerbread. And like the syrup actually, like, it's not too sweet, even with the syrup. Like the syrup kind of adds, like it's like a good gingerbread without like being like just candy.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So it's got like a little bit of a savory, kind of like a pumpkin-y spice kind
Yeah.
of thing. You know what I mean?
I just want to keep eating it.
Yeah, but like the syrup still kind of makes it candy. No,
I know.
but in a good way, not like in
Yeah.
an overly sweet
Yeah.
way. Like you actually do get that with some waffles and stuff. Sometimes they can, you know, the recipes can get a little too sweet without the syrup even added. But I think it doesn't overdo it. It does it in a really good, but like warm, cozy, campfirey kind of feel, like by a fireplace kind of feel.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
And notice I just let him keep talking so I could keep eating.
Now it's your turn.
But yeah, I'll let you get in a few bites now. But yeah, that is the perfect, just a fireplace cozy waffle. That's perfect because the spices, I was a little afraid that the spices would be overpowering, but the spices are perfect. I mean, it's just a burst of flavor in your mouth that just makes other waffles just really pale in comparison. I mean, now, granted, this took a lot of work.
Right.
Did it not? This was a lot of ingredients and a lot of separate dishes. That's a lot of dishes that I'm going to have to do. Now, bear in mind, I do a little extra dishes than normal. Just because, just for the video,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead
Put 'em in
and
separate
put it
containers
separate
and
so I
stuff.
can just keep
Right.
going instead of having to stop and measure. So you are going to cut down on your dishes for that. but you are going to use a lot of different equipment
Yeah.
for this. And that's probably why the lady who submitted this said it was a good holiday waffle, because she's not going to make these every day. You know, this isn't your like everyday go-to waffle.
Right.
You probably want it to be. But, you know, you probably won't want to put that much effort into a waffle every time. But the effort is worth it.
Yeah.
You know,
very good.
sometimes we've had recipes where I was like, oh, this was so long. And the result was like, eh. But this is one of those where I think the extra time and care that you put into, you know, the recipe itself actually delivers a worth it product.
Yeah.
So I would definitely make these for like a holiday. You know, we're coming up to that time, so if you're having, you know, people over safely, or, you know, you want to make something extra special for your kids, this, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what a treat. And I don't know if you noticed this or not, but I noticed, and I don't know if it's because it's brown sugar that's in there or the molasses, but I noticed around the edges a little extra caramelization of sugar where it like cooks around the edge of the waffle iron, and whoa, that was a nice little burst of flavor in the mouth too, because anytime you caramelize sugar like that, you know what I mean? It adds a really good dimension to sugar. You know, as if you could improve on this. And then we caramelize the sugar and it makes it even better. So yeah, I'm
kind of thinking of like, you know, like if you're not into the whole Black Friday sale thing, which hopefully a whole lot of people aren't this year, this is like the perfect morning after Thanksgiving kind of like special breakfast kind of thing, or even like Christmas morning. You know what I mean? Or
definitely.
Some kind of like that type of like special, you know, something definitely holiday, wintery, kind of gives you that warm, cozy feeling inside.
Yes.
You know? I mean, like, this is
home
something
in
that
a
could
waffle.
easily be like a holiday tradition every
yeah,
year.
it's going to be for us.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
think
seeing it now. Like, this is going to be our Christmas waffle. I mean, you know.
It's good.
Yeah, and I like the idea of the Black Friday breakfast. Like, you know, for a lot of people, it's not going to be safe to go out shopping in huge crowds of people. So it would be nice to treat yourself.
Which that's
you
been
know,
moving
and then,
online anyway. So,
well, yeah, that's true. I mean, it is anyway. But it would be nice to treat yourself and then, you know, mosey over to the computer and maybe do your shopping online if that's what you want to do.
And
but
part of me wonders if you could even prepare the batter like the night before.
Oh, that's true.
Leave it in the fridge.
Yeah,
and then that
I'm
way,
sure you
like
could.
in the morning, all you'd have to do is throw it in the waffle iron and go.
And you'd be ready. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You could just do it and be ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we've praised it so much. I don't know what more we could say besides please try this waffle.
Yeah, it is very good.
You know, it's a lot of work, but oh my gosh, are you gonna be so like happy with it? Especially if you're a gingerbread person. Like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be like, who would ever eat gingerbread again when you can have a gingerbread waffle like that? I mean, you know, that's what I would do. So I kind of guess, you know, you guys have probably already guessed that we're going to give this 5 stars.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, a resounding 5 stars. As for this little cookbook, you know what? Based on the waffle, if the rest of the ladies in this cookbook are as good as this, I'm thinking this is going to be a 5-star cookbook too. Usually you can't beat Amish cookbooks, especially when it's the community who are submitting the recipes.
Yeah.
Because
so they're gonna pick like the best recipe they have.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times. So.
These ladies typically have large families, and so they know what's good.
Yeah.
They know what their kids are gonna eat. They know, you know, that they've got to make big meals for, you know, their family. And they're always good cooks. I mean, they're, you know, it's good eating, you know, if you can pick up an Amish cookbook. So I'm going to go ahead and give this 5 stars. And don't worry, like I said in the intro, we will be revisiting this little gem as things start to become more seasonal for us and we can get fresher ingredients. So that'll be nice to kind of visit some of the more Florida-centric recipes in here. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I guess that wraps this up because we literally,
Not much else to say.
I know. It's a cozy fireplace home Christmas waffle. Like, you've got to, you need to try it. So I really hope you do that. Really hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm so glad that I was able to bring you, like, hopefully a new Christmas or Thanksgiving or Black Friday tradition that you can make for breakfast and wow your entire family and make them wonder, why did you never make this before? It's like, what was missing in our lives before this? And so we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But next week, we're going to continue in our vein of Pennsylvania Dutch cooking, and we're going to explore a little pamphlet that we picked up in Pennsylvania, in Lancaster, or Lancaster. Some people some people say it one way and some people say it the other way. I think it's Lancaster. I'm pretty sure it's Lancaster, but we're Midwesterners. We don't pronounce things right, so what do we know? But we picked it up there at a restaurant called the Good and Plenty, and it was both. So we're going to kind of explore that pamphlet and see what kind of meal we can pull out of that and see can we recreate what was so awesome about that restaurant. I'm having my doubts, but if we have some of their recipes, maybe we can make it half as good as they did.
Oh, we can try.
Yeah, so we'll catch you next week, and thank you for watching this week. Have a great one. Bye.
If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for future videos. In the meantime, here are 2 videos you may enjoy. Thanks for watching.